I want to quickly give you a review about Auphonic. And is this the best podcasting tool or what? Let's have a conversation about that. So here is a presentation I want you to think about. So when you think about Auphonic, I want you to think about a popular audio optimization software that polishes your audio files and increases the quality of your podcast episodes. And so we love this a lot. We love the fact that it has it can be a web-based or a desktop-based. It's really totally up to you. We love the fact that it is highly configurable. So you can actually use it as a desktop-based application or a web-based application. And you can use it for a podcast. If you're a podcaster, you will love it. If you're a broadcaster, you will love it. You can use it for a radio show, and you can even use it for movies. So this is really great. And the bottom line here is that Auphonic actually improves the richness and volume of users' podcast audio production. And the cool thing is that this platform is even able to balance the particular track in the case when, let's say you have one speaker is louder than the other. So you're talking about noise leveling here. This is really good. And so you also have the ability to perform single track optimization and multi-track optimization mutually. This is really great. And among other functions, it cleans noise from audio recordings, adds an intro and outro, does loudness normalization to broadcast standards, uploads files to a cloud service, and more. So again, we're talking about a constellation of services here that Auphonic actually does for you. And the cool thing is that this service uses algorithms in processing audio to create an automatic post-production platform for different use. And so just upload the audio file and Auphonic will do the rest of the work for you. This is really great. And it automatically levels, tails, and tops your audio. And this is really great. And Auphonic also does basic cleanup of your files. So key features include loudness normalizer. As I just said, we love the intelligent leveler feature. You have filtering, you have encoding, you have noise reduction, you have content deployment. This is really great. And you also have metadata management. So if you're interested in SEO, then metadata management will be really important for you. You have API, presets, batch processing, and machine learning. Fantastic. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation about Auphonic. This is an Auphonic review here. I want to quickly talk to you about the pros and cons of Auphonic. When you think about this service, what are the pros? Let's first start with the positives. So as a web-based service, it's easy for anyone to go through Auphonic's audio without spending too much money. You don't have to pay costly upfront fee for the audio cleanup you need. However, you do need to create an account on the site. Okay, it has a user-friendly platform, so UX and UI, fantastic. So what happens here is that expert post-production knowledge is not necessary. You don't have to have a PhD in audio production. Just upload your files and the system will work its magic. Its algorithm can identify music and voices separately, so everything is processed differently. So instead of doing all the manual editing yourself for hours, Auphonic will return your file within minutes. And so being web-based, the operating system is not really an issue, unlike the other post-production applications and software. You don't have to worry about compatibility as well. Okay, so when you think about Auphonic, think about a tool that is super quick and easy. You have high quality. It is affordable, really important, and you are able to upload your video or audio real fast. And also this service also helps you with publishing. So if you decide to use Auphonic as the final step in your video editing process, you can publish the final export directly to your preferred publishing platform. And again, Auphonic will take care of it for you, not a problem. So those are the pros. Let's talk about the cons here. Well, the thing is that basically you have difficulties with complex audio tracks. So audio tracks that include a ton of variety and sound sometimes struggle. This is especially true if you have tracks that feature someone speaking over a background music track. You have difficulties with bad audio files. So if you have a low resolution, lossy audio file, Auphonic will not help much. In fact, it can sometimes make things worse, especially if you start adding a ton of adjustment to the audio. And there is no dedicated desktop app as of now, so you have to go through the Auphonic website every time you want to use the service. So this can be a pro or con depending on your perspective and what your audience likes. But overall, this is a great tool, and you have to understand that Auphonic is automatic, so it uses algorithm. So sometimes, again, it can be a pro and con because If you have anything automatic, that means you do not have control over how your sound quality will turn out. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Auphonic. This is an Auphonic review. We want to see whether or not this podcast software tool is worth it or not. Let me talk to you about the features here. So when you think about Auphonic, what are the most important features I want you to pay attention to? So first of all, you have an intelligent leveler. This is really important. You have a loudness normalization process. You have audio restoration. You have multi-track algorithms. You have automatic speech recognition. You have optimal encoding, metadata, and chapter marks. You have video workflow and audiograms. You have automatic content deployment. So the thing here is that depending upon your audience, those features are really important. Let me give you an example. In terms of intelligent leveler, let's say you have an audio that is a little messy. The ability to have a tool, an intelligent tool such as Auphonic, use its algorithm, let's say its AI feature, bring some kind of intelligent leveling capability to your audio is really important, especially if you are talking about subjects. If you have a topic where your audience really care about the quality of the sound. I mean, I'm not saying that some audiences don't care about the quality of the sound, but some audiences are more particular when it comes to the quality of the sound. Okay. And also this is where loudness normalization also can play an important role, especially if the original audio was not of the best quality. Then having the ability to go through a tool such as Auphonic can really help you out. This is where also audio restoration plays an important role. So for instance, if you are having a podcast that is not of the highest quality, basically the Auphonic has features embedded that can really help you out. We love the fact that you have multi-track algorithms. I just said this before. If you have a podcast where multiple people are talking, you have a guest, you have various guests, or you have several co-hosts, or you have multiple tracks. In other words, you have music, you have background music, you have regular music, you have sound, if you have a lot of audio tracks, Auphonic will be able to differentiate what's what. So this is really great. And so overall, we love the fact that with Auphonic, you also have API, you have external integrations, and you have third-party plugins and add-ons. Fantastic. Let me talk to you about the process here. So when we talk about Auphonic, what is the process? I want to give you a few step-by-step instructions to let you know how to use Auphonic for your podcast. So first, let's talk about new production. So when you have a new production, so once you create a free Auphonic account, you can start processing your first audio file. On the home page, you want to click the button that says New Production to get started. And what will happen here is that Auphonic offers Auphonic will work with you because it offers many tools and editing capabilities. First, let's just talk to you about the tools that we actually recommend you use, and then we'll do a brief overview of the others. So first of all, you need to understand I want you to look on the screen here, so you can see all the tools that you see in Auphonic here. I mean, this might sound a little bit of gibberish for you, but I'll just explain everything to you. And so let's talk about audio or video source. So you want to leave the select upload method drop-down menu as file to upload your episode from your computer. Then press the button that says choose file to select the episode you want to process. That's for audio or video source. Then you have output files. Now the thing here, this is where Auphonic really shines because the software supports many standard file formats. And so you can use the WAV format. You can use the bit PCM format. It really depends upon what kind of audio quality you want to have and what kind of audio quality your audience is used to. Okay, and so this is kind of cool. And then let's talk about audio algorithms. Now this is where another magic happens because Auphonic's algorithms are what turn your podcast episodes into the pristine final products you share with your audience. So let's talk about a few features here. You have a adaptive leveler. You have loudness normalization. You have filtering. You have noise and hum reduction. So let's first talk about so for the adaptive leveler. So this corrects the level differences within one file between speakers, music, and speech to achieve a balanced overall loudness. This ensures your episode volume remains consistent throughout the episode and that each track and segment is correctly balanced. So this is kind of important. What about loudness normalization? So this feature adjusts the global overall loudness of the specific loudness target so that all processed files have a similar average loudness. Now, what happened here is that you don't want to have some kind of gap. You don't want to have some kind of delta in your audio track, on your audio tracks. So if the adaptive leveler ensures that your episode volume is consistent, loudness normalization determines how loud or soft your episode is. You also have filtering and you have noise and hum reduction. And those are also very important in terms of bringing a level of quality that the end listener will appreciate. You also have additional tools such as intro and outro. You have basic metadata and extended metadata. You have chapter marks. Those are important elements also. You have speech recognition. You have the ability to publish to external sites. So Auphonic really gives you the option to have that. This is really fantastic. So we love this a lot. And the bottom line here is what? You need to ask yourself how much you want to outsource to Auphonic. You got to really see how much you want to outsource and how much you can outsource, because it's not just about you willing, it's also about the budget you have. You also have the result screen. So the result, you can see the result screen here. And so once Auphonic has finished processing your audio, it will redirect you to the result page. Here you can see your final waveform with the color-coded segments. Blue means speech and yellow means the music. So you have it here. This is the second screenshot here. And then you have the third screenshots. So this is kind of important. So bottom line here, you also have the Auphonic presets here that gives you that adds a lot of value here in terms of what you need to pay attention to. So fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about Auphonic. This is an Auphonic review. So we're actually going through the software to see what's really worth it for you. Let's quickly talk about the value added here. So how does Auphonic really work? Let's have a conversation about that. So you need to understand, Auphonic makes the difficult task of mastering audio extremely simple, right? So it doesn't matter whether you are trying to, like if you're trying to edit a YouTube podcast or an Apple podcast, everything is totally possible. And again, Auphonic was made to actually in a way that if you are a starter, if you're a beginner, you can still use the tool, not a problem at all. So the process in our view is a breeze. So just start a new production at the Auphonic website, upload your audio file and select adjustments based on a ton of presets and audio editing settings. So within Auphonic, you're able to set and customize the following. You can add intros and outros. You can set chapters and markers. You can determine the file type to export. You can publish directly to a variety of platforms. You can save your settings as a preset to use later. You can leverage audio algorithms to perfect and master your audio, including, I just spoke about that. You have the adaptive leveler. You have the loudness normalization, filtering, noise and hum reduction, and loudness target. This is really great. So what I want to say here is that, as you can see on the screen here, you have to actually follow what the software is telling you. And the thing is that once you have set your desired output, start the production and wait for Auphonic to do the rest of the work, okay? So you can see on the screenshot here, we just sharing with you all the steps you have to go through here. So you can choose to publish to external services, SoundCloud, YouTube, you can choose. And you can choose the type of service, FLP, for example. And in terms of production, here again, you have total control. So when we talk about production here, you have the ability to edit production here. You can edit all the important clusters, for example, the intro and outro, the basic metadata. So when we talk about basic metadata, we're talking about important elements that will categorize your podcast and will make it live in a certain category in the future, especially online. So things like a title and cover image, the artist, the album, the track. Same thing with extended metadata. We're speaking about subtitle, summary, genre, year, publisher, license, URL, tags. So those are elements, again, that will actually, that will catapult your podcast into a different category in the long run. And you want to pay attention to that. Now, in terms of output files, here you can choose basically again, we are still in the edit production dashboard here. So you can choose which file you want, MP3, MP3, M4A, WAV, OGG, Opus, and video. You can really choose. And you can also mark within the audio that you currently have. You can actually categorize, or what we like to say, you can cluster the tracks into chapter marks. And again, this is kind of cool. And you can actually publish into you can have the different marks that you want to specify based on the platform you want to publish on, whether it is SoundCloud, YouTube, or what have you. And again, this is really good. And once you're done, once you're comfortable with the final results, you can actually choose the external services you want to push your audio podcast to. So this includes Dropbox, YouTube, SoundCloud. You have Libsyn, you have archive.org. It really, it's totally up to you. I want to talk to you now about the pricing, and I want you to look on the screen here. So when we talk about Auphonic, what kind of pricing are we talking about here? It's important to understand that Auphonic has what we call a layered pricing tool, and or pricing plan, if you will. So basically, you can see on the screen here that Auphonic has a free plan, and it has a recurring, it has a system of credits. So you are buying actually credits. You have a series of credits every month. And you can actually pay $11 per month or $132 billed yearly, or you can buy like a one-time credits. So it's totally up to you. So if you are a professional podcaster, or you are serious about launching a podcasting career, it's just a lot better to have recurring credits that you are buying yearly. Don't buy the one-time credits because those are expensive. Again, if you are a regular podcaster, if you're not, then it's fine. Okay. And it's important to understand that billing is based on the duration of the audio files sent for processing in milliseconds, with the minimum processing time for a billing being 3 minutes. If you process a 20-minute audio file with a 1-minute intro file, the processing time is 21 minutes. And you can use as many output files, MP3, AAC, or input tracks, multi-track productions as you want. The change processing time will always stay the same. And when processing very short files, what happens here is that Auphonic will charge at least 3 minutes of credits per production to avoid spam attacks, which really makes sense because, I mean, this is a legit company. They have fixed costs. So whenever you send them something, they have to actually they have sunk costs, and they have to be able to amortize those costs. So they want to make sure that you are for real. Okay. And when we talk about the difference between recurring and one-time credits, it's very simple. Recurring processing credits are reset every month according to its plan. So Auphonic S to 9 hours, Auphonic M to 21 hours, etc. And if you don't use all credits in the current month, you cannot save them for the next month. Then you have one-time processing credits. Those are used after recurring monthly credits added on top of them, but before free credits, and are valid for an unlimited amount of time. So this is really good. So if you have purchased both recurring and one-time credits, basically what will happen here is that recurring monthly credits are used first. One-time credits are added on top of them. So you can combine one-time credits with recurring credits if you occasionally want to process more audio material. So it's totally up to you. And you can actually edit your production without additional cost as long as you use the same input files in the same production. So if you change one of your input files or create a new production, you will be charged again. So be very careful here, okay? And it's important to understand that you want to also think in terms of Auphonic also. And remember, Auphonic will not charge you any credit if there is an error during audio processing, okay? So this is important. They only charge credit if your production was successful. Okay. And if you are satisfied with the result of a production, you can actually get your credit back. Yes. So just use the refund credits link on the production page to send Auphonic a description of the problem, and all used credits will be refunded to you. No problem. Okay. This is really good. And you can also charge Auphonic charges multi-track productions in the same way as all other productions based on the duration of the output audio file. So this is really fantastic. So what is our verdict here? Is Auphonic a go or no go? Well, Auphonic is a really a cost effective. We think that it's definitely a go. We strongly recommend it. Auphonic is a cost effective method when it comes to post production. When it comes to post production of your podcast, and the thing is, if you don't go beyond 2 hours of audio every month, then you don't need to pay anything for a simple cleanup and leveling of your files. So Auphonic is good enough for those who just want the basic post production output. However, it cannot offer you the best quality. You cannot even expect good service as long as you are like, what am I trying to say here? They will give you the quality that you gave them, okay? But do not expect anything extraordinary. They give you a more than decent work, that's for sure. But you also want to pay attention to the quality of the audio that you send them. Okay, it's important. And so they actually use a combination of AI and human elements to give you an excellent service. So it's important. Do not expect miracle from Auphonic. They do a good job at what they do, but they're not going to promise you something extraordinary. Okay, just think about it that way. So we love the fact that Auphonic, in our view, remains an incredibly powerful tool that makes working with audio files truly simple. Okay, this is really cool. So if you don't have a background in audio mastering and don't really care to learn, Auphonic is the tool for you. It is affordable. It is easy to use. It will save you time and money, but don't expect like high quality, like high end results here. But it is worth it anyway. I mean, if you were to ask us, we would advise our clients to actually go with it. It's totally fine. So this is really great. And but if you want something like pretty high, then go with Adobe Audition or Adobe Premiere Pro. Those are like the high end tools here. All right, let's do a quick recap here. Thank you so much for your attention. And so this was an Auphonic review, and we went through I gave you the presentation, the pros and cons, the features, the process, the value added, and the pricing. And now I'm doing the verdict. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.